and welcome to In the Studio. My name is Lori Aldrete, and I'm the host today in a program where we're going to be talking to representatives from the Yolo County Children's Alliance, including the Executive Director, Jeneba Lahai, and the Resource and Development Manager, Katie Durham. So, welcome to both of you. Thank you for being here today. We're going to get right into it. We're going to be talking about the Yolo County Children's Alliance VITA program. So, first of all, Jeneba, could you give us an overview of what the VITA program is all about?
Yes. Hi, Laurie. Thank you so much for having us in the studio today to talk about our VITA program, which is the free tax preparation services for families and individuals in Yolo County. First of all, I would like to say that Yolo County Children's Alliance has been around for 20 years this year. So we've been providing services to the community for 20 years. We provide services in West Sacramento, Woodland, and the city of Davis, as well as the rural areas through our home visitation program. I'm so happy to be here. So our free tax preparation program is actually through the IRS. It's called the Volunteer Income Tax Preparation Program, VITA for short. And the VITA program has been operating for over 50 years. So VITA provides services to people who generally make less than $65,000 a year, persons with disabilities, as well as people who are limited English speakers. So while the IRS manages the VITA program, the sites are operated by IRS partners and staffed by volunteers or staff. In our instance, it is staff. For Yolo County Children's Alliance, we are the coordinator of the VITA programs throughout the county in partnership with our partners such as Rise Incorporated, as well as Empower Yolo. So we provide free tax assistance to families, individuals that make less than $65,000 a year. Um, and we also do back taxes. We're currently doing back taxes for 2019 to 2021. We also provide services year round. Right now, we're in the tax filing period. The tax filing period is ending next week. However, after that, we'll take a 2 weeks break and continue to provide services year round.
Oh, that's wonderful. I think we have some pictures that we can show people, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about what we're seeing on screen as the pictures arrive. I think there's some shots of yeah, that's the first one is just to remind us let's all file our returns. We might get a nice refund. So there's going to be some other pictures I think that maybe Jennifer you could describe as we go to them.
Mhm. So tax filing is very important for low income families. This first picture tells you everything about that. For the tax filing period every year through the Yolo County VITA Services Program, we bring in close to $500,000 back to Yolo County, and this money is going directly to families that really need it. We've had instances where families are either paying back debt or they're paying back rent or they are saving to get a vehicle. So this program is really, really important for low income families. The picture we're seeing right here is from 2020, during the height of the pandemic when we could not have anyone indoor. So we had to go outdoor. The Arthur Turner Library hosted us outside where we were able to meet with community members in person to provide free tax preparation services. And this is a picture of our Russian speaking staff, Yelena, and our Farsi speaking staff, Ahmed, speaking with one of our community member as they consult with him as he's getting ready to file his taxes. And this is the same picture. We just, we had to make it work in 2020, like many other organizations. 2020, you had the stimulus that the government was handing out. So we had a lot of requests from folks that wanted to file back taxes to make sure that they were eligible. So this is one of our staff at that event. Basically being a greeter and greeting people and welcoming them to the program. So again, we're not able to really function indoor because of the pandemic. So again, we try to make it work as a nonprofit organization. You just try to make it work. This is one of our VITA preparer. His name is Miguel, and he's just outside working with one of the families, going through their documentation, making sure that she had all of her documentation in order to file her taxes.
Well, it is so much fun to see the pictures of all the tax preparers. Can you tell us a little bit about what kind of training they need to uh, be qualified to become tax preparers for VITA?
Yes, so this is intensive training actually. IRS provides about 40 hours of training, a week-long training for staff. Some of it is virtual and some of it is in person. And this is done through United Way Capital Region. United Way works very closely with our local IRS to provide trainings regionally for all tax preparers. In addition to that, every site has a site coordinator. After volunteers and staff go through the initial training with IRS, they then have another 40 hours of training to go through on the site at the site level. So that's another 40 hours. And then there's of course training courses that you have to access and be able to pass in order to be certified as a preparer.
Well, they
So in total,
certainly,
I would say about 80 hours.
wow. Well, they certainly go through a lot, obviously, to become qualified. Let's shift to the audience out there, the people who might want to take advantage of this free service. What do you say to people who say, "Well, I didn't earn enough money last year to have to file taxes. Why should I?"
I say just file anyway. We learned a huge lesson when the stimulus program came about during the pandemic. For the people who were not regular tax filers, we had to go back and do a lot of work with community members, and it's usually low income community members that are receiving SSI or some other government subsidies. They feel like because they're receiving government subsidies, they don't qualify to file for their taxes. I say just go ahead and file anyways, because you never know. You could qualify for an earned income child credit or another subsidy.
Well, and that's one thing that's very exciting, which is the earned income tax credit. Talk a little bit more about that and who might find some extra money in their pocket as a result of filing that as part of their return.
Yeah. So the earned income tax credit is very exciting for families with children. So you have to be low to moderate income and have qualifying children to be eligible to claim earned income tax credit. So the basic qualifying rules are you've earned less than $60,000, you have investment less than $10,000, and you have a valid social security number. You also are a US citizen or resident alien, you have a green card, and not be able to file a 2,555 form. So this is something, again, it's bringing money back to the county, it's putting money back into families' pockets, especially if you have multiple children. This could actually add credit to, if, for example, if you end up owing, this could add credit to that, or you could potentially get additional funds to increase your refund.
Which everybody should try to take advantage of that if they qualify. Well, I know Katie is such a valid or important part of your team, a valuable part of your team. So you've been waiting patiently, Katie. I've got a question or two for you now. I wonder, can you tell people how to contact VITA and then expand also into what languages are available?
Absolutely. So, we part of our VITA program is a pretty robust outreach plan. We create outreach materials via online or printed, et cetera, in all the different languages that YCCA supports the community through our VITA program. So, we offer VITA appointments in English, Spanish, Russian, and Farsi. And making an appointment with YCCA is super easy. You, as a community member, would just call our Family Resource Center at 916-572-0560. And one of our staff members will help walk you through the process, make sure you're eligible, make sure that you have all of the documentation that you might need. And then from there, set up an appointment with one of our trained staff members within the language that you prefer.
Well, as you said, it sounds super easy to make an appointment, but this show might air, it may air, well, it will air before taxes are due, but it may air again after taxes, that tax season is over. So, what do people do if they've missed their deadline and they haven't filed by the tax day this year?
Question. So, like Jeneba mentioned, we do offer tax assistance for free throughout the year, still by appointment. The first thing you'll want to do is register for an extension through the IRS. And then in May, after April 18th, our team will begin providing assistance for those who do have to either file their extensions for this year or who have back taxes from 2019 to 2021. YCCA also helps with amended returns for the same years, 2019 to 2021.
So the message there, it's never too late and you can file year round. The main thing is get your taxes filed. You may find you're getting some extra money as a result of it. So Jeneba, what documents are needed? If people make their appointment, they're getting ready to come in to get their taxes prepared for free. We want to keep reminding people, what do they need to bring to this appointment?
So people need to just bring their social security card, driver's license, or identification card, any source of income they have received throughout the year. And we recognize every client is different depending on their situation. So some of the forms that we request is W-2s, the 1099, Social Security, pension, mortgage, and etc. Um, and of course, if you need help gathering any of those forms, because, for example, many of our on-house residents tend to lose their documentation moving from place to place, we do provide support in obtaining those documents.
Well, that's wonderful. So, in other words, if they don't have everything you just listed, call that number, get some help, and you'll help them get the documents or point them in the right direction to get the documents they need. Well, do you have to live in Yolo County, Jennifer, in order to be eligible for this? Will you help anyone if they don't live in Yolo County?
So our primary priority, of course, is Yolo County. We are funded by the county to provide this service throughout the county. So our primary responsibility is Yolo County residents. However, there are programs throughout Sacramento as well as the surrounding county that does provide free tax preparation services. So if you are a resident of a county other than Yolo, I will highly encourage you to call 211 YOLO or 211 Sacramento to find a site that is very close to your current resident or location.
Excellent advice. And one more time, because it's important for people to know that you're working with other nonprofits to help make this happen. You mentioned them earlier, Jenna, but just to give them another shout out, could you mention again the partners that you work with in offering the VITA program?
So big shout out to, first of all, a big shout out to the county for supporting this program and funding us regularly, yearly, to provide this service to Yolo County residents. Big shout out to United Way Capital Region for providing training and technical support to Yolo County. They work very closely with all of our partners in Yolo County in providing technical support and training, as well as just any generic question that may come up that staff cannot answer. United Way steps in to answer those questions. And of course, our partners on the ground that are doing the day-to-day work. We have Rise in Expardo and Winters. And then we also have Empower YOLO serving in Woodland, Davis. Of course, the students of Davis who are located at UC Davis, providing free tax preparation services to students from UC Davis.
Great. Thank you for mentioning them again. Well, in the minute or so we have left, Katie, could you remind people as to the phone number they should call to make an appointment?
It's our West Sacramento Family Resource Center, and you could just call 916-572-0560.
Great. And is there anything else either one of you want to talk about that we haven't mentioned so far that is important for the viewers to hear and see?
It's very important for the viewers to know that these services are provided by Yolo County residents who are very dedicated to serving this community. We've been providing these services for over 10 years as an organization. And I want to give a big shout out to all of our Family Resource Center staff, Team YCCA, as well as our board for supporting these efforts throughout the county. If you go to the Family Resource Center, you are going to meet someone who lives in West Sacramento, Davis, Woodland. You're going to meet someone who speaks Russian, who speaks Spanish, Farsi, Pashto, Dari, Arabic. So a huge shout out to this team that's on the ground doing this work, and a huge shout out to our partners at Empower Yolo and Rise, as well as students of Davis.
Wonderful people, all of them, and wonderful organizations. And I want to thank you, Jeneba Lahai, and Katie Durham, for joining us today and being so eloquent in describing this wonderful VITA program. I think it's such a valuable service, and we appreciate you coming on in the studio to talk about it. And a shout out to Diane Dadoshka. I always mess up your last name, Diane. I'm sorry. I've known you for 30 years. So wonderful thanks to Diane, our producer director, for getting this segment of In the Studio on the air for us. And of course, always to DC TV and Davis Media Access for the opportunity to have this public service program available to their viewers. So thank you for watching, and that ends this segment of In the Studio. I'm Lori Aldrete. I've been your host today, and you all have a wonderful day or evening, whichever time of day you're watching.
Thank you, Lori.